It's one thing to have the musical skills, but it's another thing to have the business sense as far as how to share it and get it out into the world. And it doesn't really do much good if you have the music but don't know how to take it beyond your practice room or beyond your home. So really having a sense of what media is available to you and what publicity networks are available, what recording means are going to be the most valuable to what it is that you're wanting to do with your music or your particular artistic vision. So I've been very fortunate to have a lot of people around who've had a lot of experience in those ways and can share with me their experiences and can certainly guide me in my ventures in really getting my music out into the world. My plans are more project by project, and so in realizing those projects, I am having to make a plan, whether it be financial or schedule, whatever, publicity, all those sorts of things that come along with putting a project in motion, whether you're doing Kickstarter campaigns or any kind of public funding that's involved with that. But everything from tours to just simply having the financial means to realize your goals. That does require a lot of planning, and luckily I am a very detail-oriented person. So my ability to follow those things through usually goes pretty well. But there are new tools that are coming up every day that you want to check out and see if it's going to be a tool that you want to make use of. So there's a lot of research that goes along with these projects as well. But business planning is part of it. You certainly want to be very on top of what it is that you're doing, but you also want to make sure that you're balancing that out with the actual project itself, and that everything is sort of on an even speed along the course. It's really important that that young musicians listen to listen to what their interests are. I think oftentimes, especially as string players and piano players, where we've started our instruments probably at a very early age, we've grown up doing what we've been taught to do as far as the repertoire that we play, and maybe in some sense the career directions that we think we ought to follow. But the wonderful thing about the way that media and music and everything is shared these days, you can explore so many different things, and it could be so many different styles of music. So certainly, if your career and your path in life and your goal in life is to be a violin soloist with an orchestra, fantastic. If it's to be an orchestral musician, fantastic. If it's to be a rock violinist, great. If it's to be bluegrass or jazz or whatever stylistic thing you associate with, that's great. If it's a mashup of all these different styles into a style that no one's even really been able to coin yet, that's even better. It's really, though, figuring out what music is most appealing to you and learning as much about that and then seeing where it leads. I think the idea of kind of pigeonholing yourself into a career when you're 16 or 17 years old can be a little dangerous in that you're just simply not aware of all the things that are out there. So I guess trying to put that into a nutshell, interact with your peers as much as possible, and go out and see as many concerts and see as many of the musicians who are coming through town. Because the amazing thing about a school like the Jacob School is that because of its reputation, it draws amazing musicians, both in the student body, in the faculty, and also in the artists who come to visit. And it's that sort of attraction that brings incredible music and musicianship to this community. And I think it's a shame if students don't necessarily take up on those chances to interact and experience what's coming right to the front door. You want to constantly be pushing yourself and never be satisfied with where you are. I think the musicians I've always been inspired by are those who are ever seeking more information and more inspiration, even when they're in their 80s and 90s. There's just this desire to continually learn and that's a philosophy I want to live by.